Hey guys, I'm Jax, and I just saw the new film, Wicked. And yes, it is a little late releasing this review, but I did go see it opening weekend. But I only just finished watching it. 'Cause it's long. So, what did I think of Wicked? Part 1, don't tell anybody, but it's part 1. Did you know it was part 1? I didn't know it was part 1, but it's only half the movie. It's still really, really long, but it's actually only half the movie. So it's not a full story, but it kind of feels like a full story. But like I was satisfied. Like it ended, and it was like, oh no, that feels like an end of a movie, but it's not. It's halfway. I liked it. Yeah. Who would have thought that universally beloved musical turned into a universally beloved film? I thought it was pretty good. I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was suitably charming and magical with a little bit of darkness sprinkled or smeared all over your whimsy. A modern reinterpretation of something that was black and white. Now it's all nuanced. It's like this is essentially Cobra Kai, but for that Wizard of Oz film. Where it's like, do you remember that classic iconic property that was quintessentially black and white, good versus evil? What if we just grabbed a giant bucket of nuance and just poured it all over that property till it was smothered in it, till it was choking and dying. You drowned it in nuance. Now it's all HBO-y and modern and dark. So I have never seen the musical Wicked that this film is based on, but because I'm like alive and I'm vaguely aware of pop culture generally speaking, I was pretty aware of what this film was. It's the origin story of that green witch from that movie. You know the movie where it turns out it's all a dream. So this film is more of that dream? Dream extensions? Dream origins. Hey Dorothy, you know that lady who stole your dog and then you had a dream about her in which she was a witch? Well, turns out you had a follow-up dream in which the fact she was a witch was not some kind of fun, dramatic exaggeration of your hostility towards her in real life, but because of racism. But what it lacks in being not as good as Cobra Kai at doing the Cobra Kai thing, despite the fact this came out before Cobra Kai, it makes up for in singing. So, is the music good? Yeah, it's alright. I don't think it's as good as, say, Hamilton, but hey, that's like comparing anything to Hamilton, where you're like, yeah, no, it's a great movie. Not as good as Hamilton. It's like comparing something to Lord of the Rings, or to early Game of Thrones. Or to pizza. You're like, how was that thing that wasn't pizza that you ate? And you're like, yeah, well, like, it was really good. But compared to pizza, not very good at all. Like, I could have had a pizza instead. That would have been way better. How good was drinking this alcoholic beverage that wasn't beer? It was fine. I would have preferred a beer. I feel like I want to just keep making examples because I have so little to say about Wicked because it came out like so long ago. Which is funny because I did just finish watching it. But it feels like I started watching it so long ago where I'm like, what even happened? All I remember is that Ariana Grande is awesome and I like her now. Two bangers that I listened to, I want to say 3 times after the movie. But I'm not sure if it's just timing, because straight after the movie, Moana 2 came out. I don't know what you're thinking. That probably made you never want to listen to music ever again in any form. It would have if it hadn't ironically reminded me of Moana 1, so I started listening to Moana 1 again on repeat for like 5 days. By 5 days, I mean for like 3 hours. It's actually quite a short album. And I listened to it so many times and I'm like, do you know what this reminds me of? Hamilton. And then I listened to Hamilton for literally the last 3 weeks, just on repeat. So yeah, I love Hamilton. Sorry, I forgot what I'm talking about. So yes, Wicked, the songs, they're fine. There's 2 good ones, Popular and Defied the Gravity. But like, are they that good? They're like, okay, they're like really, no, they're really, really fun and good. I just am now tainted by Hamilton because I forgot Hamilton existed. I over-listened to it for like 10 years because we all did. And then I just didn't listen to it for a while. But I was reminded of it, and then as soon as I listened to it for like a whole time through, like 2.5 hours or whatever, I then just like did it again. And I've just been doing that. Like I was setting up my lights and cameras for this, and I just was playing a couple of the songs, and I was so tempted to just not record this video, because I was like, who cares? I could just listen to Hamilton for like an hour and a half rather than do all of this. and edit it and film it and talk about Wicked. Ugh, who cares? I've wasted time. Oh, this is wasted time. And ironically, I am wasting your time talking about it. But, yeah, Hamilton, it's good. And Wicked, it's fine. So let's talk acting/singing. Everybody in this is very, very good, but I do think the standout for me personally is Ariana Grande. I just think mostly it's because I just know her so much from just pop culture of pop music, but I've just never gravitated towards her as an artist, so I was really doubtful that she would connect with me like as an actor. Exceptional, stunning, hilarious, just so funny playing the bitch witch and that kind of like inversion of like, well, in the original story she's the good witch and the other one's the evil wicked green meh, meh, meh. I mean, yeah, you get it. They've inverted. They did the Cobra Kai thing, but as the bitch witch, I thought she was just really funny, really over the top, and just this massive caricature, but there's a little bit of heart underneath there. There's a beautiful dance scene with her and the Green Witch that I thought was really wonderful, where you're like, oh no, there's a bit of emotion behind this character, and you kind of start empathizing with her rather than laughing at her and with her. And then at the end of the movie, like, maybe not as much heart as I was hoping for, but in the best way. We're like, oh, the arc is so much more interesting than you think at first it's going to be. Whereas the Wicked Witch, her arc is exactly what you expect it's going to be, like as that hero kind of journey, or the opposite of the hero journey, I suppose. But yeah, nothing in her plot was like, oh, interesting. I was like, yeah, no, we're at this point in the film, of course. I mean, we're an hour past that point in the film, but this is now the point in the film where that thing's going to happen. And you know exactly what's going to happen. Sure, it's an hour later than you'd expect in a normal-sized film, but hey, that's what happens when you adapt something and forget to edit it. But yeah, absolutely loved Ariana Grande as the Mean Girl style character, but singing. But don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about Mean Girls the musical. Oh god, no. I would never conjure that film into your mind ever if I could help it. I even just doing it now accidentally makes me feel sick. I'll probably cut this out. I apologize. Honestly, Ariana Grande was so good in this movie. All I kept thinking was, wow. Once Ariana Grande reappears in the shop in Fortnite, there goes $20. This is a classic origin film that does every single thing that everybody absolutely hates and detests and loathes. I ran out of big words. They don't like when movies do what this movie does. Literally every time anyone ever does this in a movie, everyone hates it. Pirates 5, Solo: A Star Wars Story. A third example of a film being like, it's the origin of this character, so look at them get all their cool, iconic stuff. How did they get it? I don't know, they just got it. Someone just passed it to them and they went, here's this iconic film thing from cinema. And they go, cool, thanks. In this film, she gets her hat, her broom. The monkeys? Why have they got wings? We find that out. And just like everybody in the world, didn't hate it. Don't know why I didn't hate it. Kind of just was like, yeah, it's a bit of fun. Interesting. That's how she got her hat. Thematically rich and dense-ish. The one origin moment where it's like, do you want to know how the yellow brick road got yellow? No. Disgusting. Detestable. Blech. Also, another thing people were saying is that it felt very washed out and the colours weren't popping and it wasn't this beautifully colourful, big, epic thing. I don't know if they feel like that's true at all. It might just be expectation, because I'd heard so much about how it was such a flat-looking movie. Like it looked like some of those early Avengers movies where it's like, you don't want to have Captain America and Iron Man's colours pop. I didn't find that at all, though. I don't know. Furiosa to Fury Road, this is not. I didn't find the colours washed out or anything. I thought they were suitably colourful and poppy. She was all pink, and the other one was all green, wearing black. And it's like contrasting colours. And at one point, she's like, pink looks good on you. Or maybe the other one's like, green looks good. At one point, one of them was like, colour that I wear is good on you, too. We're bonding. But maybe we're not going to bond that much, because maybe we could be friends on a superficial level. But then when our politics really get into it, that's when we clash. And it's like, that's why you don't talk politics. That's why you just don't say anything about anything to anyone. You just vaguely talk about which sports you like and go, wasn't that good when Australia beat India in the cricket today? And I go, that was good.